Hello and welcome. If you're new here, I'm Hannah and I have been consistently working out for about 10 years now and loving it, even though I used to hate sports as a teen and I was always picked last in gym class. And in this video, I'm going to share 10 tips that I'm positive will help you to finally become a fitness person who enjoys doing something for your body. And with that, change your body and your life, because doing something good for your body will finally feel natural. Tip number 1. Motivation is nice, discipline is better. And before you think that doesn't sound like it's gonna feel natural or, fun at all, hear me out. While motivation is great, and it's probably the reason why you're watching this video, motivation always fades, or at least drops, sooner or later. Always, no matter how strong it may feel at the moment. And that's why you should focus on discipline. And discipline is a lot easier when you have a plan and know exactly when you're gonna work out, what you're gonna work out. Don't even leave a room for discussing with yourself whether you should even work out right now or not. And also you reduce decision fatigue by knowing what you're gonna do. Because if you always have to figure out what you're gonna do, if you should go for a run, if you should do Pilates, if you should hit the gym, if yes, what exercises you're gonna do and how long you're gonna exercise and all of that stuff, that is mentally draining. And when you have a plan, you only have to do that decision making once and not every day, because you have a fitness routine. Which brings me to tip number 2, make fitness a daily habit, which is actually 2 tips in 1. First, habits are the key to making any change in your life. And when you incorporate the daily fitness habit into your daily routine, aka stacking it on top of other habits, it's just gonna feel natural to do that habit. And again, when it's a habit, you don't have to think about what you're doing, and there's no room for discussion because it's just automatic. And doing that habit daily makes it even easier to actually stay consistent. And yes, you do need rest days. Everybody needs rest days. But if you always have some fitness habit, even on your rest days, it makes it so much easier to actually stay consistent and become that fitness person, because it's just a part of your daily life. AKA, it becomes part of your identity, because now you're the person who does something for their fitness every day. And while that identity thing might sound woo-woo, it's not. James Clear, the king of habit forming, says that the most effective way to actually adapt new habits is to make it part of your identity. And the easiest way to do so is to make it part of your daily life. So it's gonna feel natural to do something for your fitness in your daily life. And that can be anything. That can be going to the gym or going for a run, whatever you want to do. And on your rest days, that can be taking a walk or stretching or meditating. Anything to keep that daily habit of doing something for your fitness going. If you're new to the whole fitness game, one thing that I can just promise you is that everyone started at 0. So if you feel weird going to the gym because they're all the, gym bros or the hot girls and their Lululemons, and you feel like an idiot not knowing how to, lift a dumbbell, remind yourself that everybody didn't know how to lift the dumbbell in the beginning, or, use the machines or whatever you're doing. Remind yourself of that first, and second, if that's not enough, nobody cares. Remind yourself that the people in the gym or the yoga class or wherever, they care about themselves. They're not looking at you. And if they are, and if they actually are thinking something like, well, they don't know what they're doing, most likely either they're an idiot, or second, they're thinking, well, that's really cool that they're starting on their fitness journey, especially when you're just starting out. But also if you've been doing the fitness thing for a while but struggle with staying consistent, don't overwhelm yourself and take baby steps. A little bit of some fitness habit is better than nothing. And if you do feel overwhelmed, take it a bit slower. If you feel like your plan is not working, adapt. Even if that means that you're gonna work out less. Because if you're so stressed and have to get up after 7 hours of sleep or 6 hours of sleep only to squeeze in your workout, that's first not good for your health, and second, it's hard to stay consistent with that. And consistent baby steps are so much more effective than having a whole month of going to the gym for an hour, 6 days a week, and then burning out physically and mentally probably, and then taking a break from fitness for weeks or months. So take it slow and be gentle. Speaking of being gentle, rest is just as important as working out. So make sure that you always have at least 1 or 2 days of rest where you do your daily fitness habit, but let that be something calm, like walking, stretching, yoga, something like that. And also listen to your body. If your body feels weak, don't push yourself. Probably your body needs a break, whether that's from just working out or because maybe there's some virus in your immune system, and in your immune system, in your body, and your immune system is trying to fight that. But if you put a workout on top of that, you're gonna get sick. But if you take a break, you might not. But I would only say, or most likely only say, that you should do that when your body feels weak. When your mind feels weak and you feel like, oh, I should be taking a break from the gym today, but your body feels fine, then in most cases I would suggest to push yourself to get to the gym, because most likely that's going to make you feel a lot better mentally. Speaking of mental health, exercise for your health and your mental health, and not to get skinny. Because first, that motivation fades easily, or more easily than the motivation to do something good for your health. And second, you don't need to be skinny to be beautiful. And third, exercise is not the most effective way to get skinny, because weight loss happens in the kitchen and not at the gym. And one of the best things you can do for both your physical and your mental health, and also how your body looks, is walking. Especially in nature, like in a park or near the river, wherever you live, has such a big effect on our mental health. But even if it's not in nature, if you're just walking through your streets, or even walking on the treadmill at the gym, or walking on the treadmill at home, walking is just gold for everything, basically. Which is also one reason why I just bought a home treadmill. I haven't tried it out yet. It's still laying there. You know, if you know me, I'm a health nerd and I do move quite a bit, but still, I also sit quite a bit, and sitting is, I think they say sitting is worse than smoking, or sitting is the new smoking, whatever. Sitting is so bad for your health, but you can balance that bad effect from sitting out by walking more, whether that's at home or outside. But while I do really recommend everyone to walk more, if you hate walking, don't do it. Which brings me to the next tip, which is do what you enjoy and not what you hear is effective. Even if that comes from me. Because yes, walking and strength training are probably the most effective, best things you can do for your health and your body. If you hate going to the gym, for example, don't force yourself. There are so many other things that you can do that are beneficial for your mental and your physical health, and also how your body looks. Consistency is the most important thing when it comes to fitness. I cannot stress this enough. And when you hate what you're doing, you won't stay consistent. Or you're gonna hate what you're doing, and that's not very nice for your mental health, because it's gonna feel like a task and not self-care, which it should be. Now, even if you do whatever you're doing consistently, but you don't see any results when you're looking at your body, that might very likely be because fat is lost and muscles are built in the kitchen, at least to around 70%. Meaning you cannot outtrain a bad diet, or also meaning that you need to fuel your body right to actually see results, whatever those results are supposed to look like. Because you cannot build muscles without sufficient protein, because protein is the building block for muscles. Shit, I'm saying muscles again. Muscles. Sorry, I just cursed. You guys keep mocking me for saying first for the protein, now I'm saying protein, which I hope is correct, and now for muscles. Muscles, that's what you said in the comments. I should say muscles, but this is really hard. Okay, sorry for my accent. Because you can't build muscles without enough protein, which is the building block for muscles, and you can't lose fat without being in a caloric deficit. Calories burned by exercise are so often overrated. You don't actually burn that much while working out, and most people underestimate the calories that they consume. So if your goal is to lose fat and or build muscle, you should also really focus on what you're putting into your body. But if your goal is not losing weight or body recomposition, but just to get healthier, you actually can outtrain a bad diet, at least to some extent, because exercise does have an anti-inflammatory effect on our body. So if you eat a lot of inflammatory foods, like junk food and stuff, if you work out a lot, whether that's by walking or hitting the gym, you can balance it out a little bit. And when you work out, you also make use of the excess carbs that you eat, because carbs give you energy, and if you eat junk food, most likely there's a lot of carbs in there. And also, when you work out, especially after eating that junk food, you help your body balance its blood sugar levels that might otherwise spike after eating simple carbs like sugar. And also, exercising obviously is very good for your cardiovascular health, which often gets worse with a bad diet that includes a lot of junk food. But this focusing on your nutrition also includes to not undereat, because especially when you do move a lot, whether that's by walking or hitting the gym, you also need to fuel your body enough. Especially if you're a woman, it is so important to not undereat. Please keep that in mind. No matter how big your motivation is, or how fast you want to reach your fitness goals, whatever they might be, fuel your body sufficiently. And that is especially important, not only, but especially when you're on your period, which brings me to cycle syncing. If you're a woman, it is very helpful to listen to your body always, but especially in regards to your cycle, because our hormones have such a big effect on how our body works and how much stress we should be putting on it and how much we should rest. While this can vary for every woman, on average, for the average woman, the first 2 weeks of your cycle, so from day 1 from your period to ovulation, we tend to be strong. So in that time, it's easier for us to lift heavy and to, go to that soul cycle class. But then after ovulation till your period, so the last 2 weeks of your menstrual cycle, 2-ish weeks, depending on, the length of your cycle, obviously, we tend to be weaker and we tend to need more calmness and rest. So if you do feel weak in that time before your period-ish, listen to that and just do less, and don't just try to be too disciplined and ignore what your body is saying. Stick to your daily habits, but do something calmer. Choose maybe Pilates or yoga or walking over hitting the gym or going to soul cycle. You can still go to the gym, obviously, but maybe not lift as heavy. Just listen to your body. If you struggle with adopting a healthy diet or don't even know how much you should be eating of what, I also offer one-on-one health and nutrition coaching. So if you're interested in that, hit the link in the description and apply for one-on-one personal guidance from me. So as I just mentioned, eating enough is also very, very important, and that especially applies to you if you're a woman, especially in certain times of your cycle. Just as it is very, very helpful to adapt your fitness routine to your cycle. Because what our body needs in terms of exercise and nutrition varies during our menstrual cycle. And if you want to dive deeper into women-specific do's and don'ts when it comes to fitness and nutrition, have a look at this video right here where I share what the expert for women's health, Dr. Stacey Sims, says about how our female bodies work differently and should be treated differently than male bodies. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, and remember to always listen to your body first. It usually knows best. Take care, and I'll see you in my next video.